call this City Council meeting on Monday, January 22nd, 2024 at 6:30 to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Ash.
Present.
Counselor Campbell.
Present.
Counselor Devine.
Present.
Counselor DeBona.
Present.
Counselor Harris.
Present.
Counselor Liang.
Present.
Counselor McCarthy.
Present.
Counselor Minton.
Present.
President Kane.
Present.
9 members, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. If everyone would please stand and take a moment of silence to use this moment as you will. Please turn to the flag and pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please read the open meeting law?
Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First item on the agenda.
Number 1, 2024-002, in order of nomination and election of the clerk of committees.
I will now accept nominations for clerk of committees for the 2024 to 2025 session. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to place the name of Jennifer Manning in nomination.
Jennifer Manning. Thank you very much. Councilor McCarthy, do I have a second? Councilor Devine, thank you very much. On the motion, anyone? Councilor McCarthy?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of words about Jen. As we all know, and the new councilors will find out, Jen Manning, who's, I think, been in position now about 10 years, is proactive, efficient, experienced, a person you'll go to for advice also. She knows the council in and out. She's an anchor up in the office, along with all the other ladies and all the other people that support us. But Jen is the one person that I think we start with, we depend on, and it's a pleasure to nominate her to be clerk of committees.
Thank you, Councilor McCarthy. Anyone else? Councilor Devine?
I'd just like to reiterate what Councilor McCarthy said. Also, I've known Jen before I became involved with the city when I moved into the area, so she's always been a friend, and she does an amazing job. So thank you very much, Jen.
Thank you, Councilor Devine. Councilor DeBona?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just also like to echo the sentiments with Jennifer Manning. Jen has been a great influence for the City Council for the last 10 years, as I've been on the council for 8. And in the last 2 years, she's done a really fantastic job helping out at the presidency. And I know she's going to do a great job for you, President Kane. She just brings she's a nice gem up there. And if you can't get her by email, you can get her by text. If you can't get her by text, you get her by phone. So you can always get a hold of her at any time. And I'm looking forward to the next 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor DeBona. Councilor Liang?
Thank you, Mr. President. I mean, I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating that we literally could not do our job if it not for you, Jen. I mean, you keep us on our toes, you keep us accountable, but you also keep us connected to everything that we need to know, who we need to hear from. If we're dropping the ball on something, I mean, I don't think it really happens because you keep us on top of it, and that's 9 different people, right? On top of making sure that we're collaborating well with the administration when we need to. And so you juggle a lot, and you deal with a lot, and you put up with a lot, but you do it flawlessly, I think. And so I will always sing your praises because I don't think we could do this without you.
Pleasure working with all of you.
Thank you, Councilor Liang. I can't match any of those words, but I know that you are the glue that holds our office together, so I can't wait to work for you, well, basically for you, for the next 2 years as I've worked with you for the last 8. So I look forward to supporting you here. We've got Councilor McCarthy, motion approved, seconded by Councilor Devine. Madam Clerk?
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay. Madam Clerk, next item on the agenda.
Number 2, 2024-003, in order, introduction and adoption of the rules of the City Council.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Motion to accept?
Motion to accept from Councilor McCarthy, seconded by Councilor Devine on the motion. Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And on to next item.
Number 3, 2024-004, order authorization for the city clerk to have the council rules printed.
Motion to approve, Councilor Devine. Do we have a second? Second, Councilor DeBona. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine. Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. On to the next item.
Number 4, 2024-005, order authorize the city clerk to have the city council calendar printed.
Motion to approve, Councilor Devine. Second, Councilor McCarthy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang. Counselor McCarthy. Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Number 5, 2024-006, in order adoption of the 2024 city council meeting schedule.
Motion to approve, Councilor DeBona. Second, Councilor Devine. Madam Clerk, on the motion. Councilor DeBona.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to elaborate just a little bit, looking at the calendar real quick, just to solidify and kind of go through you to Madam Clerk, if we could, do we have a set preliminary or primary election for September?
September 3rd,
September 3rd, so it will not interfere. It's the Tuesday after Labor Day?
that's right.
And any of the holidays in September, are we good for those 9th and 16th?
We certainly are.
Okay. Any other hiccups? Everything looks good?
Yes, everything
Okay.
looks great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilor DeBona. So on the motion, we have approval from Councilor DeBona, second Councilor Devine. Any other councilors on the schedule? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine. Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item on the agenda.
Number 6, 2024-007, in order conveyance of 6 through 10 McGrath Highway.
President recognizes Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to approve. This is that 610 McGrath Highway that the city purchased, I think, maybe a year or more ago, with intentions to utilize it as a city asset in regards to assisting residents and such in different capacities. It is now more feasible to go back to the state so they can move forward with the courthouse. So the city has pretty much just a wash. The $1.8 million that we see here is the price that was put out there. And I don't know if Janet Peckin wants to chime in on that if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the same price, so it'll go over to the state and be utilized as an asset for the new courthouse. But I put that in the form of a motion to approve.
Thank you, Councilor McCarthy. Assistant Solicitor Peckin.
Good evening, councilors. Yes, Councilor McCarthy is correct. This is financially a wash for the city. The intention now is to keep the courthouse in the city, which I'm sure everyone knows is really a financial asset to the city because, employees coming in, other people coming in and utilizing the courthouse and visiting Quincy Center. So this is an opportunity to work with the state, do an intergovernmental transfer essentially, and allow the courthouse to remain right in Quincy Center. This is something that has been fully, the purchase of the property was fully vetted in the past by this body and the people who were here. I know there are 3 new people, but back in July, this is when the state reached out to all of you and had you sign off on those DCAM notices. So that's all just part of the process.
And are there any plans for new courthouse yet?
I am not in that loop, but I know it's part of it to make it, because those of you who know the courthouse area, there were trailers out in the back and whatnot. So this is part of the plan to just develop that whole area into the courthouse, but I'm not privy to any actual plans yet.
Okay, so just to be clear, the city purchased this property for $1.8 million in the end of 2022, and the state is now taking the property but compensating the city $1.8 million for that
Yes,
property.
exactly.
In order to make that property contiguous for the expansion of the courthouse.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions for Assistant Solicitor, Councilor Harris?
I'm just on my point, I'm going to have to abstain. I actually work for, under the DCAM, so, for the state, so my abstention is just basically out of protocol.
Thank you, Councilor Harris.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Assistant Solicitor? Thank you, Janet, appreciate it. Any other comments or questions? Okay, motion to approve from Councilor McCarthy, seconded by Councilor Devine. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris. Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Mitten.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
8 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item on the agenda.
Number 7, 2024-008, confirmation Quincy Housing Authority Board appointment.
Okay, this is confirmation of the mayor's at-large appointment of Timothy Baker, who lives at 54 Ocean Street, to the Quincy Housing Authority Board. We need a motion and a second. Motion to approve, Councilor Campbell. Second, Councilor Harris. On the motion, any councilors? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell. Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Mitten.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, next item on the agenda.
Number 8, 2024-009, resolve seeking a citywide review.
President recognizes Councilor Liang.
Thank you, Mr. President. So if my colleagues will indulge me, what I wanted to do with this is just reintroduce it for this term. It was a resolve, essentially a request that I had made in the last term, which has expired now as we come into this new term, to essentially commit to moving forward with an effort to do a citywide review of the existing zoning codes, which will hopefully then produce an updated zoning code for the entire city. It's obviously a massive undertaking, so we're not voting on any changes here tonight. We're just simply voting on the request that I brought forward last year to commit to this work, and so it's really just an ask, and so I'm reintroducing it here today to keep that work moving in this term. I want to thank my colleagues who co-sponsored it this year to move forward with this effort. It's going to take all of us working together to make it happen, especially the ward councilors who, I said repeatedly, know their wards best, right? So the at-large councils, I think, need to work more closely with them in this work moving forward. But I think it's going to be an exciting project, and I'm looking forward to doing so in this term, but again, just reintroducing it so that it's at the forefront of our work this year. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve, but also move it into ordinance to committee to keep the work rolling.
Thank you, Counselor Liang. Motion approved. Move to ordinance. Do I have a second? Counselor DeBona on the motion. Counselor DeBona?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, Council Liang, I'm happy to co-sponsor this with you for this year again, and I think it's going in the right direction here, putting it on the first meeting of the agenda for this year, 2024, and it gives us proper time to put this onto ordinance and get some discussions and sit down with some of the ward councilors and see within their existing zoning codes what areas or pockets within those particular wards and throughout the city of Quincy. So looking forward to more discussions, and I'm happy this is back on the agenda for future discussions here in this body of councilors. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor DeBona. Counselor McCarthy?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I think it's a must that we have it back on. There's the wards there's a couple of wards, Ward 1 and Ward 6 are very similar, but there's also a lot of wards that have a real mixed use in there. I think it's going to take some time to beat it up a little bit and change some things that probably should be changed because it hasn't been touched in a while. So thank you, Counselor, for resurrecting the zoning analysis again.
Thank you, Counselor McCarthy. Counselor Devine?
Once again, I agree with everything that the previous councils just stated. And I just wanted to add that my ward is, and constituents, we are one of those areas that have a lot of different mixed use. And so it'll be great for us because there's a lot of issues in Ward 4 that we're trying to deal with. So thank you very much to the city and the council for working on it.
Thank you, Counselor Devine. Any other counselors? Thank you, Counselor Yang, for reintroducing this. Happy to support it. This is important work, obviously, for the ward counselors who most of our constituents don't want to see their neighborhoods overgrown in ways that crowd them out and make the city more congested, et cetera, et cetera. And I think this discussion is very important considering we just went through this process with the state's compliance and looking at the northern and the southern parts of the city and trying to come into compliance with housing regulations. So I look forward to working on this. Okay, we've got Counselor Liang, motion to approve. Counselor DeBona, second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, next item.
Number 9, 2024-010.
Motion to waive the reading, Counselor Liang. No motion?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is not unlike the previous one where, again, it was something that was introduced in the last term, had expired coming into this new term, so I'd just like to reintroduce it so that the work can continue to move forward. So this is not, again, a vote to change anything today. It's a vote simply to support the ask that I want to move forward with this work. But it's reintroducing a review of the potential adoption of the specialized stretch code. And the reason why I worded it that way is because we, as a city, are currently following the state rules, for current stretch code regulations, which have changed dramatically in the last year. But the state has also introduced a set of specialized stretch codes, which is not a huge jump, but there still are implications if we as a city decide to take on moving up to that specialized stretch code. And so I want to make sure that we speak to all of the parties who will be impacted in not only implementing this, but explaining it to residents and developers who are coming to the city and making sure that we're all on the same page with the positive impact to residents and the cost savings, et cetera, for doing this. So just again, reintroducing it into this term to make sure that we have a thorough discussion about it before we implement anything moving forward. So I'd like to make a motion to approve and move it into ordinance.
Okay, motion to approve, Counselor Liang, and refer to Ordinance Committee. Any other counselors? Seconded by Counselor DeBona, and on the motion. Counselor DeBona?
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy to second the motion and put this into a committee ordinance. Just looking back, I fielded a lot of emails on this in the last week. We're looking forward to more discussions and whether this is going to work for us. Happy to co-sponsor it with Councilor Yang again, and just looking forward to basically having some type of presentation and getting more information out. And obviously, one of the whereofs is it can actually can save a homeowner an average of $500 per year for utilities under the stretch code. So I just want to look into some more data. In any other towns and cities throughout the Commonwealth that are doing the stretch code, and if it benefits Quincy and our residents in it. So thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Barone. Counselor McCarthy?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, the word that Councilor DeBona just mentioned was presentation. I'd like to work with Councilor Yang and Rob Conlon and Inspectional Services to come up and give us a to Z, soup to nuts presentation on all the work he's been doing. I know he's been doing a lot of work, and I've heard a lot of possibilities and a lot of impossibilities in regards to that, in regards to cost, in regards to the amount of change and the restrictions that would be put on a lot of contractors. The second part of my comments, I'd like to also maybe get a few contractors up here, both large and small, to hear testimony of what, if, a certain project, what it would cost them, what it would cost a homeowner to abide by the stretch code if it was in place. So I'd love to work with Councilor Yang and Rob Conlon and company, because I've spoken with them a few times, to have a full-blown presentation so that everyone up here can ask the questions. And I think it'd be nice to have that testimony from small and large contractors that I know that'll be probably affected in some way if this goes into place. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor McCarthy. President recognizes Counselor Devine.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very happy that we'll be looking into this and having the presentations and all that kind of things, but we're a stretch town or city, and we just accepted the 2018 rules, and we're in 2023, so it's extremely confusing for the state, all the federal guidelines, all these guidelines. This is scary to me. I think it's going to be a financial burden to people, so I hope that we can do our pros and cons and make sure that, we do our due diligence to make sure it's something that we should or shouldn't do. But I do have big concerns for it, so. But I'm glad that we're going to look into it, because that's what we should be doing, exhausting everything that we can do, and just make sure that we pick the right decision. But I do feel that it may be too much, because even inspectors and state level, they have trouble trying to figure out how far we're going with these things. It's very complicated. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor Devine. Any other counselors? Okay, we have Counselor Liang, motion to approve, seconded by Counselor DeBona. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That concludes the scheduled agenda for tonight. Approval of previous meeting minutes. A motion approved from Counselor Liang. Do I have a second? Counselor DeBona. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Communications and reports from the mayor, other city officers, and city boards. City clerk has a traffic, I believe.
Yes, I have a couple of traffic requests to refer to Ordinance Committee for Advertising. Ward 1, Councilor McCarthy, add no left turn on Morrison Street intersection with Southern Artery. Add handicap parking at 1143 Hancock Street. Add 15-minute parking to the odd number side of Hancock Street, 42 feet south of Dimmock Street to 104 feet south of Dimmock Street.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Unfinished business and preceding meeting. Seeing none. Reports of committees. Finance Committee, Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, a few housekeeping items here. I'd like to pull 3 subjects out of the Finance Committee for approval tonight. First one is 2023-131. It's appropriation of $2,115,518 for MSBA ARP funding at the Montclair Elementary School for roof replacement. I put that in the form of a motion.
Okay, that is 2.1 and some change $1 million for MSBA ARP funding for Montclair Elementary roof replacement project. Motion approved. Do I have a second? Counselor Harris on the motion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine. Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang. Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton. President Kane.
Yes. 9
members.
Thank you, Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. 2023-132, appropriation 1.440327 million for MSBA ARP funding at the Wollaston Elementary School for roof replacement.
Good day for Ward 3 elementary schools.
Form of a motion.
Motion to approve, Councilor McCarthy, seconded Councilor DeBona on the motion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang. Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. 2023-133, appropriation of 1.768629 million for MSBA ARP funding at the Francis W. Parker Elementary School for a boiler replacement project. Put that in the form of a motion.
Motion approved, Councilor McCarthy, seconded by Councilor Harris on the motion. Okay, Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Counselor Ash.
Yes.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
Counselor Devine.
Yes.
Counselor DeBona.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang. Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Minton. President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you. That is all, Councilor McCarthy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. This is all for the reports of committees. Presentation of petitions, memorials, and remonstrance. Recognized is Councilor Liang.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is with great sadness that I ask all of you tonight to keep our very dear friend, the Mayor's Chief of Staff, Chris Walker, in our thoughts and in our hearts. He lost his father, the Honorable Neil J. Walker, last Monday. The Honorable Neil J. Walker is retired presiding justice of Lowell District Court, and he passed away peacefully at Care 1 of Wilmington last Monday at 79 years old. He was raised in Medford, and he was the son of late Ralph and Margaret Colachio Walker. He graduated from Medford High School and went on to earn his degree at Suffolk University, and then graduated New England School of Law. He practiced as a defense attorney, served as an assistant district attorney, and practiced with great success and dedication as a public defender. Appointed as a judge in 1985, Judge Walker served primarily at Lowell District Court, where he was presiding judge. He also served as a justice in Somerville District Court. He was known as a fair judge, and he believed in the goodness in all people. He was regarded as respectful, fair, and competent in the exercise of his duties as a judge. He enjoyed the company of his family and his friends. Excuse me. He was a loving husband, father, grandfather, brother, and friend. He and Rita enjoyed traveling, especially on cruises. He loved golf. He loved to spend time on the ski slopes, and most of all, to be with his wife, kids, and granddaughters. Again, I'd like to ask all of us to keep our dear friend Chris and his family in our thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Liang. Anyone else? Petitions, memorials, announcements? I have one more tonight for Paul Lynch, longtime Quincy resident, originally from South Boston, who died peacefully on the same day as Judge Walker last Monday, the 15th. He was originally from South Boston. He was born to the late Philip Lynch and Barbara Kelleher Lynch McCormick. He was a graduate of South Boston High School. He was employed as a sheet metal worker and was a 50-year member of Local 17. After his retirement, Paul became the co-owner of the former Quiet Man Pub, which people know. They know the steak tips from 16C, who was run by his daughter Carrie in Quincy Center today. He was an avid sports fan and enjoyed spending time with family and friends. He was especially proud of his 3 grandsons, Shane, Ronan, and Dylan. Beloved husband of 51 years to Mary Ellen Fitzgerald Lynch, devoted father of Paul Lynch and his wife Megan of Dorchester, Carrie and her husband Michael, who's on QPD, and Katie Lovett and her husband Brendan, all of Milton. One of 7 siblings, had survived many nieces, nephews, and their families, and tonight was actually their visiting hours from 4 to 7 at Sweeney Brothers, and the funeral will be held tomorrow at St. Agatha's at 10:30 a.m. We send our thoughts and prayers to the Lynch family at this time. And in sort of happier news, today is the mayor's birthday, so we do want to wish him a happy birthday. I don't know if we want to break into song today, but certainly the wishes will be sent positively his way. And motions, orders, and resolutions. Okay, scheduling of committee meetings and public hearings. We have our next city council meeting on Monday, February 5th at 6:30, followed by the next meeting after that is Monday, February 12th at 6:30. And
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, Councilor Demona, seconded by Councilor Liang. All those in favor?
All right.
Okay, we conclude this meeting tonight at 7 o'clock.